means to slay somebody. It means to kill them without empathy, man, or consideration. To slay us. Go ahead. And hold themselves not guilty and hold themselves guilty like this piece of garbage right
What's the agenda, you niggas, cowards and pretenders? White flag to the white man, you surrender. Just remember, wicked niggas love to hang with sinners. Shit is disgusting to think it's through the agendas. Bruce Jenner. Babylon is falling, and one West is prevalent. Boots lace, bands on, we in our element. It's evident they killing how they evident. Coward murderers, I pray the Lord send a pestilence and cause famine, wreak havoc and cause damage. Coronavirus shook up the earth, now watch them all panic. Fighting through these verses that we live in. Prepare slaughter, complete the order when it's given. These crackers crumble, we humble their activity. For it is written that they shall go into captivity. These devils must pay for their war crimes. Sell your garments and go and get a sword when it's wartime. Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime. Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime.
Your music can be stopped by a gun. They'll call a gun to come and kill you over your music. That's the world that you living in, man.
Con, I don't want con when it's wartime. Can't be lukewarm, gotta make up your mind. If you ain't heard nothing, you better hear this rhyme. When it go down, you gon' have to be with your kind. Ain't no laughing, ain't no joking on the battlefield. If you don't follow the order, you could get us all killed. Ain't no thing to grab the block and burst and squeeze mine. You gon' learn to do it, not the second, but the first time. 223, 308, AR-15 rifle. Warring with the dragon like I'm the Archangel Michael. I got hand grenades, I pull the pin and throw it at you quick. Or I can say a prayer and send them evil curses, now you sick. If we do what the Lord tell us to do, Babylon will fall. I'm gon' do what Saul didn't do and I'm gon' kill them all. It's time to kill, not heal, it's time to break them down, know who you are. Ain't no time to love, it's time to hate these heathens, time for war.
Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime. Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime. Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime. Lace your boots when it's wartime. Go and get a sword when it's wartime. Hurt your loins when it's wartime. I don't want calm when it's wartime.
Even though you in the ghetto, even though you poor, even though you suffering, even though you ain't had a good education, even though you got the weight of the most powerful empire in the world on your neck, God is going to come and stop every bit of it. He's going to shut it down.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Paint Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in a cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, class was being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, Amy murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ice agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on West for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I didn't. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fail. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. Try to deal death to a priest, you won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand, just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown you? This ain't the life you think, little nigga, I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. And puff smoke, never try though. The day that home, my brother be the dead and sold out on. Either fold or salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. Know what it is, man. So, how you feel about this truth out of show? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Shalom, Israel. We're at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is the Wednesday night law class. Let's go ahead and clap it up. Most High Christ. This is the home of the truth, where, you know what I'm saying, this is where it all started, and we are the only place where we do not compromise. We do not bend and try to twist the scriptures. We follow the scriptures as they are written, man. And we follow the Most High. We follow the men above us, man. And that segues right into the topic of discussion tonight. We're gonna talk about compromise and what it's done to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Like we got to look around and see. First of all, we got to look around and see the condition of our people. Like, is it a favorable condition for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? Having to go to our oppressor, who we know that we are, you know what I'm saying, who we know has raped, robbed, and murdered our people. Is it a favorable condition for us to be, you know what I'm saying, for us to have to serve our oppressor and go to him for everything, and, you know what I'm saying, be killed in the streets by our oppressor on camera? And they get off and have to, like, all the things that we suffer under in this hell, man. Is this a favorable condition? Like, first of all, we gotta understand that this condition that we are in is not the condition that we supposed to be in as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Baba Kashad, can I get Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6, I believe. But we got to understand that not only is this not a favorable condition for anybody. I mean, you can ask anybody. You can ask anybody, and, you know what I'm saying, anybody in their right mind will tell you that they don't want to serve somebody who destroys them and beats their back in and has them in captivity, man. Now, you can ask anybody, and they'll tell you that this condition is hell. But we got to understand that this condition that we are in is not the condition that the Most High wanted Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be in. It's not the condition that he meant for us to be in. And the reason why we're not in the Most High wanted us to be in a condition of rulership. He didn't want us to be in a condition of servitude to our oppressor. Right. And the only reason why we're in this condition of servitude under our oppressor is because we have forsaken our way, man. We have turned our back on the way that on the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us to be able to rule over this world, man. To take our place in rulership. We have turned our back, man. We have turned our back, and we have compromised. We have compromised to the point where now it seems like where our oppressor can portray us as murderers and thugs and homosexuals. And, you know what I'm saying, we have compromised to the point where we look at ourselves and we think that we are less than, because we have compromised so much, and we've done so much so that we believe that we deserve to be in the condition that we in, and we don't even hold our oppressor accountable. But the first thing that we got to do is to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, which is what this, you know what I'm saying, which is what this class is all about. Every Wednesday. Baba Kashai, if you don't mind, sir.
You want verse 5?
Baba Kashai.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
See, that's very important. The Most High taught us laws, statutes, and commandments so that we can go into anywhere on this planet and possess it, man. So that we can be rulers, man. That's what the Most High gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments for, man. So that we don't fall into the conditions of drug addiction or homosexuality or prostitution or murder or the various avenues of destruction that your oppressor gave you. That's what these laws, statutes, and commandments are for. And the Most High gave you that so that you can rule in every land where you go to possess it, man. Because we're supposed to be rulers over this entire planet, thus said the Lord. Baba, shall I read on?
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
This is your what?
This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
See, this is what we got to understand. These laws, statutes, and commandments, these aren't just, you know what I'm saying, ancient rules that can be bended or broken or amended, just like your oppressors' rules, where they make up new laws every day and every year, and you know what I'm saying, don't even tell you about them. Like this is not that. This is not something that you can compare to your oppressors' laws that they have in your hell. These laws, statutes, and commandments are for you to keep forever throughout your generations and do them because they are your what?
It's like your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
This is your wisdom in the sight of the other nations, man. So with read the rest of that Bible, Kasha.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us, this is what's going to give us rulership in this world, man. That's going to get us out of this hell. That's the only thing that's going to get us out of this hell, because that's what got us in this hell, us not following those laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's how important this is, man. And us not following these laws, statutes, and commandments is what has gotten us, is what has put us in this low state that we in today.
Right.
And that's where compromise comes in, man. Baba Kashar, can I get Salakia? Can I get Romans chapter 1 verse 25, Baba Kashar? See, we just read in Deuteronomy that these laws, statutes, and commandments were given to the children of Israel for us to have rulership so that over these other nations, so that these other nations will look at us and say that, or look at us as a wise and understanding people. So no wonder they look at us, you know what I'm saying, all your oppressors, they look at us and think, oh, we just so-called niggas, we just murderers, we just thugs, we just gangsters, we just homosexuals. No matter, no wonder they look at us like that, man. Because these law, statutes, and commandments were supposed to have our oppressor and all these other nations around about us look at us as if we were a wise and understanding people. Because the Most High is wise and understanding. His thoughts are far above our thoughts, man. And he gave us these law, statutes, and commandments so that we can have wisdom and understanding.
Right.
So no wonder our oppressor looks at us like garbage, because we have forsaken our wisdom and our understanding. We have compromised our wisdom and our understanding to fit into the social construct of our oppressor. And that explains exactly why we are in the condition that we're in today. Baba Kashaf, if you don't mind reading that Romans chapter 1, verse 25.
Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
So who changed the truth of God into a lie? Go ahead, read on, Baba Kashaf.
And worshipped and served the creature more than the creator.
So who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worshipped who worshipped our oppressors' laws, statutes, and commandments, and who who worship the people that the Most High created more than the Most High. Well, that's what we came here to talk about tonight, man. We're gonna reveal all of that, man, because that's a very important question, because that is the key to how we're going to, first of all, identify the issue so that we can go ahead and get out of this hell, man. Because that's the whole goal. That's the whole goal. Like anything that we do in this world, man, like all the striving that we do as Black people, all the, you know what I'm saying, us trying to go to colleges and all us trying to gain these skills, us trying to, you know what I'm saying, get into the entertainment industry, the athletic industry and all of that is to get out of hell. But all of that is void if we don't have the truth of the Most High, man. And if we don't come back to the Most High, man, and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. So who changed the truth for the Most High into a lie, man? Who changed? Who changed? Who got us beguiled and confused, and got us believing that these laws is done away with, and that the Most High, the laws that the Most High gave us mean nothing, and that they are, you know what I'm saying, that they are able to be bent and manipulated to fit our will. It's compromise. It's compromise. That's what got us in this condition. That's what got us not believing these laws, statutes, and commandments and thinking that they are done away with and they are destroyed, man. What we got to do is stop compromising. Stop compromising. The things that are in this, first of all, we got to understand that the things that were written in this book, in this Bible, these are the separate records of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These are the separate records of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we got to understand that these belong to us. And we can't, with that being said, we have to read these records, follow these records, and then turn away from we have to turn away from the culture of our oppressor, man. Right. We can't mix the two. We can't keep on compromising, because us constantly compromising our culture and giving leeway, you know what I'm saying, with this culture is the reason why we die. It's the reason why we die. We're in captivity. We're in hell, and your oppressor is killing you constantly. It's the reason why we die. It's the whole reason why we die. We have to become zealous about our culture. Just like the Chinese man is zealous about his culture, so zealous that he won't share his culture with any other nation. So just like all these nations around you, they're so zealous about their culture that they will not allow you to thrive off of their culture. We have to be zealous. We have to be so zealous that we don't share our culture with nobody. And we don't compromise our culture for no other nation. That's the key to getting out of this hell, man. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Baba Kashad, can I get Salaki? Salaki, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, real quick. See, what we got to we have to take a look. We have to take a look at what we believe in and start to understand that what we believe, what we have believed in, whether it's the Christian church, whether we have a lot of our people have gone into all these different doctrines, whether it's the Christian church, whether it's the Muslim mosque, whether it's Kemet or all these other doctrines, we have to take a look and actually understand what we're following after and what it's doing to our people. Like, for example, like we all think that we Africans, we all think that we come from Africa and we belong to those people.
Right.
So we real quick to put on that culture. And I mean, I don't know about any other brother, but I ain't seen a single canoe come over here for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans yet. Like, I'm saying, we've been in this condition of captivity for how long? And you know what I'm saying, not, and we call the so-called Africans are, you know what I'm saying, our distant relatives, our long lost brothers, and we need to go back to the motherland and all that garbage.
Right.
Well, what do they think about you?
Right.
Since this is the culture that we decided to put on, we gotta. What do they think about you, Slacky? You got something to add?
Yeah, it's a heavy what you're saying. Because I just today I just watched. Shannon Sharp has a show. You know, he invites celebrities or football players. You know what I'm saying? Celebrities, basically. So he invited Michael Blackston, right, to the show. We all know he's African.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about Shannon Sharp said, "Yeah, I did my history, my what do you call it? That DNA ancestry look up." He said, "I'm 90% Nigerian." He was like, "Oh, really, dog? You know, cause you know he's from the South. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharp from the South. He's like, dang, they still got slavery out there." See, like, we try to be part of these people, but still make fun of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good night.
That's deep.
Like, it was so appalling. I'm like, no, and Shannon Sharp, you know, he's a good, he's a brother that thinks, you know what I'm saying, but he's still in this society where you think we Africans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, I ain't mean, bro.
Oh, most high praise. Now, that was give him a hand. That point that you brought out was just so heavy because even as you said, like that's a brother that, you know what I'm saying, is considered by the, you know what I'm saying, by our people to be intelligent, well-educated brother. But the problem is the foundation of what we think is, you know what I'm saying, knowledge and education revolves around a culture that doesn't belong to us.
Right.
And that's our downfall. That tends to be our downfall. And all of that, like us being rooted in what we think to be education and knowledge and wisdom, that's rooted in another nation, and that's our downfall, man. That comes from us merging our culture with another people and taking on another people's culture, man. That's where it comes from. Us compromising and taking on the culture of another people. When the Most High said for us to have no gods before him, man. Right. And to not take on the ways of the heathen, man. Right. That's what the Most High said, man. He said it for a good reason, man. And it should be apparent. It should be apparent in how, you know what I'm saying, us taking part in our oppressors' cultures is killing us, man. Like we gotta look at these things and we gotta ask these questions. Like we get into the Christian church and they celebrating all these wicked things. They celebrating all these things that don't quite make sense. They celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and all these different Halloween, Mother's Day, all of this garbage. And you know what I'm saying? What do? Every time your pastor say we about to have a, you know what I'm saying, this Easter gathering, this Easter, you know what I'm saying, this catfish fry in the back with the this pork chop, you know what I'm saying, this pork chop dinner and all these different things. We about to celebrate Halloween for the kids and all of that. Like we put on our best suit and we come out and we come right to the church. Wow. And we partake in it. But where does it say in the Bible for us to partake in any of those things? Where is Easter in the Bible? Where is Halloween in the Bible? Where is Christmas and Mother's Day and Father's Day and where's all of that in the Bible? Like we never ask ourselves these questions, man. And that's where we fail. That's where we fall. That's why we're able to fall into these pitfalls and these traps. Because all these traps were set in front of us so that we stray away from our culture and we fall into, you know what I'm saying, these other doctrines that have the only true living Most High God that chose us to have him, you know what I'm saying, turn his back on us and put us, you know, for us to end up in this condition. That's where we end up when we follow after our oppressor, man. When we compromise to gain the love and the approval of our oppressor. Slack, you got the Deuteronomy chapter 7?
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So this is something that we've never heard in the Christian church. This is something that we've never, no, your Christian pastor has never brought this out to you in the church, man. They've never showed you who you are and the significance of the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. And if we had only known that the Most High had chosen Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, then maybe we would have paid a little bit more attention to what we were doing in the Christian church and what we were following and what we believed and what we followed after.
Who we slept with.
Right. All of those things. What we ate, who we slept with, what the feast days that we kept, the clothes that we wear.
Right.
All of these things. Like, if we had known that these law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us was to put us in a state of rulership to be above all people, then we would never, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have to compromise for our oppressor, man. We wouldn't have to mix and merge our cultures with them, man. We got to understand that compromise is the death of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Compromise is the death of us. So we gotta understand, like, just like Baba Kashak, could go back to that Romans real quick. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Yeah. So we gotta understand that we gotta understand that we gotta follow these laws, statutes, and commandments to a T. And they're not hard, they're not grievous to follow, as the scriptures say. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing to not eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, or sleep with your oppressor, who plots to kill you every day, and does it without consequences. It's not a hard thing to separate from the people who hate you. The only thing that makes it hard is our mentality, and we have our oppressor to thank for that, man. We have our oppressor who beat our backs in and forced us to follow after, to obey them and serve under them. And we have our oppressor to thank for the men that they groomed up to teach us lies in this Christian church and in the Muslim mosque and all these other places, man. Like that, like, we have our oppressor to thank, man. So it's not a hard thing for us to just separate from the people who hate us. Well, it shouldn't be. The only reason why that we, you know what I'm saying, we find it hard and we are in so much confusion is because of them, man. And the only way that they were able to infiltrate our people, to destroy us and to kill us and to feed us their doctrine is because we compromised. We compromise, man, because the Bible, you know what I'm saying, the records of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it laid out the blueprint of how we should live and what we should do, what we should eat, who we should make marriages with, who we should separate from, what feast days we should keep, what we should wear, what, like, all of these different things. Like, the Bible laid it out plain. But over time, we started to compromise, man, and that was the beginning of our downfall, man. Baba Kasha, you got that?
Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
So this is what we got to think, man. Like, we have compromised so much for our oppressor that now we don't even know where to draw the line, man. So that's an important thing that's being said right here. Like our truth, the truth of the Most High, the truth has been changed to a lie. What's true, we believe to be a lie. When we read these scriptures and we say that the Most High doesn't love everybody and the Most High chose one people, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's looked at as, you know what I'm saying, hate speech. Is looked at as if we're, you know what I'm saying, as if we're just lying, we're just crazy. We're a hate group. We're, you know, like we're speaking lies. We're a cult. That's what it's looked at. But when your Christian pastor gets on that podium and tells you that bunnies lay eggs, you know what I'm saying, we just eat that on up.
Right.
We eat it up, and then we go and send our kids over to the Christian church, and we put our complete trust, and we put our complete trust into the Christian church, man, and it leads to our destruction.
Right.
But we got to understand that that the only thing that's true and that's real is what's in this Bible, what's actually in this Bible, man. And what we got to do is open this Bible and read it and understand what it says, and understand that what we got to understand is that what's in this Bible isn't being taught in the Christian church. It's not being taught where we have put our trust and our belief in. It's if it's not, you know what I'm saying, if it's not coming out of these scriptures, man, it's just not real.
Right.
It's not real, and since we have compromised and we have mixed with all these other cultures so much that who we are has become muddy, man. So we got to start from the beginning. Man. We can't like we have gone so far away from our culture that we got to start all the way over. We got to start with a new. We got to start fresh, man. We're in a position where we can't. You know what I'm saying? We have put on so many different cultures. We can't just simply peel away the layers and pick and choose. We have to start all the way over. Start from the beginning, from the foundation of this Bible, man. And those like all these different like all these different things that have been put on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that got us, you know what I'm saying, destroyed out here. You know what I'm saying? We got several different, you know what I'm saying, cultures and doctrines that we carry with us, man. And all these different things, man, it has nothing to do with us, and it's right. Out here killing us, man. It's out here killing us. So, like, we gotta get right back to. We gotta get Baba Kashai, you got a apocrypha?
Yeah.
Can I get First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11? So we gonna get into. You know what I'm saying? How we got here, man. How we got to this place where we are relying on these other cultures and on these other nations and on these other doctrines, man. We're gonna uncover that. And you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, it starts to open our eyes when we start to look at our history playing out right in front of us. Because the things that were happening in this Bible and the things that happened in history, it's happening today. And that's the beauty of these scriptures, man. That's the beauty of the Bible. Like, you can read out of the scriptures and you can see things that happened in history, and you can, you know what I'm saying, if you have understanding, you can start to see that the same thing that happened in these days is the same thing that happened in the Bible is the same thing that's happening today.
Right.
Salakia, you got that, sir?
Con, the book, First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men,
right,
who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So this is where we have fallen every single time. Read that again, Baba Kashar.
First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went out of Israel wicked men.
Read that from the top again, Baba Kashar.
In those days went out of Israel, went there out of Israel wicked men.
So out of Israel went wicked men that, you know what I'm saying, we looking around at these other nations and we see what they doing, and we envious of what they doing and what they got and how they living, man. So this is our people persuading. Go ahead, read on.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So this is our people going to our oppressors, or looking at our oppressors, all these other nations that are round about us, and we are like we are envious of their lifestyles, man, and what they have and what they do, what they partake in, that have nothing to do with us. Those are your Christian pastors. Those are your Creflo dollars and your like all your Christian pastors and your Muslim, your Malcolm X's, your Martin Luther Kings, your so-called leaders of today.
Right.
The only reason why you're, you know what I'm saying, these false leaders of today are striving so hard to force this doctrine down your throat is because they want a piece of what their oppressor got, man. They want a piece. They see the riches. They see that they can get high and they don't get persecuted. They see that they can, you know what I'm saying, sleep with a woman and throw her away and get a new woman and throw her away. They see that their women are, you know what I'm saying, whores, and they want a piece of that. They want a piece of their culture, man. They see that they can, you know what I'm saying, they rich in this they're rich while you're in hell, man.
Right.
Your people, our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, our leaders, we become envious of what our oppressor got, man.
That's right.
And that's where we start to deviate from our culture, man. Because we want to get high, but the Most High said that we can't get high, man.
Right.
We, you know what I'm saying, our brothers and sisters, man, they want to be homosexuals, man. They want to be sexual deviants, man. When the Most High said that we can't do those things.
Right.
We want to sleep with our oppressor when the Most High said we can't do those things. So this is something that's not something that's not new.
Right.
This isn't new. It's like, you want to add something real quick?
Oh yeah, I just want to add something real quick. You know, you saying so heavy, priest. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why the ISUPK is so important, because we are not cowards as well. We're not cowards, man. We're not going to bend over backwards for the so-called, for the oppressor, for the so-called white man. We're not going to bend over backwards. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says that we're supposed to fear the Father and no one else, paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was trying to say the Father we fear, because that's the only being we going to fear.
Right.
We're not going to fear this doggone white man. We're not going to fear your Christian pastors. See, your Christian pastors, they fear the white man. Your black leaders, they fear the white man. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why the ISUPK is so important, because we don't give a damn what they say. We give a damn what the Most High say. And we're going to live by that until the day we die, man.
That's right.
Damn right. Damn right. No facts. Get out of hand. Damn right. And what he said was so heavy, because that's what we should have done from the beginning, man. Because the Most High gave us the blueprint from the beginning. We should, you know what I'm saying? Like we should fear and follow after the Most High and nobody else. And you know what I'm saying, that brings us back to the whole point. Like because we fear and follow and envy everybody else, but you know what I'm saying, we revere everything else but our culture and the Most High, then you know what I'm saying, it leads us to death, man.
Right.
It leads us to death, man. And you know what I'm saying, this didn't just happen, you know what I'm saying, overnight. Like our confusion, our people's confusion and us deviating from our culture, it didn't just happen overnight. Like we have to understand that these things are, you know what I'm saying, decisions that are being made over time. Like for, you know what I'm saying, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying, for example, you know what I'm saying, homosexuality was looked down upon. It was frowned upon in the Christian church. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was something that wasn't acceptable for you know what I'm saying, for a man to sleep with another man or a woman to sleep with another woman.
Right.
Let alone, you know what I'm saying, have brothers and sisters having gender changes and all of that. Like that was something that was not only looked down on, but it was something that was just like something that was, it was unfathomable. Like it was unfathomable for us to look, you know what I'm saying, to imagine our brothers and sisters changing genders and all this madness and seeing homosexuality on TV and children's cartoons and all of that. That was something that we couldn't even, you know what I'm saying, consider in our heads as a people. But, you know what I'm saying, over time, now you got, you know what I'm saying, homosexuals leading church service, leading the choir, all, you know what I'm saying, all of these different things, conducting service and sitting in the deacon, like all of that, like now we got homosexuals in the church, overrunning the church, raising our children, and like all of that, man. Like that happened over time. And that's exactly how we got here today. Compromising over time. Go ahead.
It's like this real quick. They got a right now at the Lutheran church. They have a trans what you call it? The trans people. They it's a trans woman, I think. Transgender. They go out, man. It's a transgender woman that's running a Lutheran church. We all know that's Christian. Christian church. You know what I'm saying? It's so heavy you say that. That's what I'm bringing up.
It's heavy that you just said that, because like Christians think that we so separate from all these different, like we got like all these different churches. Like you got First Baptist, you got the First. I can't remember all the different branches you got but like it's all these different branches, and everybody want to convince you to come to their church because they're so different. But at the end of the day, like our people think that we Christian, but it's really just Catholicism. It's really we're just Catholic. We're just black. Like modern Christianity is just Catholicism for black people. It's just urbanized Catholicism, man. And that's where all of this came from, man. That's where all of this came from. And it all started with, you know what I'm saying, us folding, basically. Like we know what that means in the hood when someone, you know what I'm saying, your homeboy, you say you folded, or you know what I'm saying, we like to say, you know what I'm saying, we solid, we 10 toes down for our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Who that's where all these different doctrines came from. Like we folded on our culture, man. We wasn't down for our culture, man. We didn't stand up for our culture. And it's like it, sir.
So now I've got a question. When you say we didn't stand up for our culture, what culture are you talking about?
The culture that's in this Bible, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American culture, these laws, statutes, and commandments.
So when did we fold?
I'm glad you just asked that question.
Right, because when you say about like the Catholicism and the Christianity, when we came here, that's all we had, though, right?
When we came, what you mean, like in
to America? You talking about America? You talking about Catholicism and Christianity, right? Urbanized Catholicism. So like in America, all we had was what they gave us, though, right? We didn't have. I mean, when you fold, it's because you got something.
Right.
But I'm saying, what did we have to? I'm saying, what did we have to fold? Is what I'm asking you.
Right. So we folded once we came into persecution, right? So we folded on the culture that we had once before we came over here, right? So like, if I'm understanding your question,
so like I'm saying what I'm saying is this: like, by the time we hit these shores, it was already destroyed. You know what I'm saying? What they gave us was poison. They gave us poison. They gave us Christianity. It wasn't like right now we can fold. Now, what you have to read, I know they, you know what I'm saying, this is where they fold today because they had it. They had a temple. They had the culture. We didn't come here with the culture. The culture, it was dead. It's what the scriptures refer to as the old silence. The culture began in 1969. You know what I'm saying? When Nat Turner read this, he knew he was an Israelite. Harry Turner knew she was an Israelite, but they didn't have the truth though. You know what I'm saying? So they were freestyling off of it, man. There was no collective body where everybody understood what was going on and was like, let's let this go and go ahead and choose Christianity. My parents, my great-grandparents, my father's side of Mississippi. My mother's side from Arkansas. All they knew was Christianity. That's what I was raised with. You know what I'm saying? That's all I understood was Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I thought Jesus could have been black, but the way they taught Christianity, like, you know what I'm saying? Like heaven, when you die, you go to heaven. When you die, you go to hell. If you were a sinner, so on and so forth. That's what was given to us. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that if you saying we folded before we got to America, I can dig that. Before we came into Africa, I can dig that. You know what I'm saying? When Christ was here, I can dig that. You know what I'm saying? But to say that we folded here in America, we were just under the curses, man. We was under the punishments, man. Salaki. I mean, it's because I don't want to put it out that we had something here that we gave away. We never had nothing. We only have what they gave us. Right.
No, I didn't name anywhere specific. I'm just saying, like, we folded. And that's why I said I'm glad you brought that up, because that brings me right to my point. Like, we started to fold when, you know what I'm saying, because we know Christ, when Christ came to teach, right, like, he came and laid it down flat, because it was still, you know what I'm saying, it was still.
We had a temple. No, you facts.
Like, when we came over, or when Christ was teaching, you know what I'm saying, like, we were living under like, we had the letter, but we didn't have the spirit behind it. So when he came and taught, you know what I'm saying, like, he came and brought the spirit behind it and laid it all flat and made everything clear of, you know what I'm saying, how we should treat one another, how we should, you know what I'm saying, like, what the law meant. Like, even though the law said, you know what I'm saying, the law gave the punishment for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Like, he came with brotherhood,
right?
To, you know what I'm saying, raise our brothers and sisters up, to teach them the spirit behind it, and to, you know what I'm saying, so that, you know what I'm saying, nobody has to, you know what I'm saying, live under the curses or the punishments of breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, when he, you know what I'm saying, when he fulfilled his duty and he passed, you know what I'm saying, of course, he passed that leadership, or that role of, you know what I'm saying, raising up our brothers and sisters to his disciples with, I believe it was Peter. He passed it down to Peter, and, you know what I'm saying, they continued in the work. Now, over time, you know what I'm saying, because, you know what I'm saying, similar to how it is today, you know what I'm saying, once this truth starts to get out and our brothers and sisters start to, you know what I'm saying, follow our culture that was given to us from the beginning, then, you know what I'm saying, the people who are in authority, which was at that time the Romans, you know what I'm saying, they didn't like that, because then their seats were at, you know what I'm saying, at risk of being taken from them.
And that's, I was going to bring that out, that John 11:48, because the Romans, like you said, because when y'all was bringing out earlier about us loving white people, right? I don't think black people, Hispanics and Albanians love white people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they love what white people have.
Right.
They love what they have. Like, none of us really enjoy white culture, because what culture do they have that we sit there and say, man, I can't wait to go do this, that they came up with? We don't really listen to their music. I mean, maybe a couple things we might listen to, But overall, they're the ones imitating us. We're not imitating them. You know what I'm saying? We're not choosing like their style of clothing. We're not even like we set the trends. You know what I'm saying? So what we love is we love their privilege.
Right.
We love their position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We love what they possess. Right. We love their political influence. We love the fact that they can drive down the street and not worry about getting put up by the police and getting shot and killed. But do we love them? No, I don't think we love them. We just love what they got going on. And for the people who are in power, the religious leaders, they love the position that's given to them by the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? So just real quick, I was going to read this, John chapter 11, verse 48, King James. This is the Pharisees, the religious leaders. And when they see Christ doing what you said, restoring the culture, bringing back the spirit of the law to the people, everybody's starting to see the real from the fake, and they believe it on Christ. And this is what they say. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and our nation. That's all they cared about, man, was their seat, like you said. They didn't want to lose their seat and their position. Like Al Sharpton don't want to lose his seat. Jesse Jackson don't want to lose his seat. I don't know the congressman or the senator out there in New Jersey. He's like the fake Barack Obama. Cory Booker. He don't want to lose his seat. You know what I'm saying? Jesse Jackson Jr. And right now, I mean, even Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? Even though he claimed like America trying to kill him, bro, they had plenty of time to kill you. Malcolm X died. You know what I'm saying? Like he caught the bullets. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King caught one in the head. If you're such an enemy of America, why are you still here, man? You understand? No, because you want to work with them, man. They don't want to lose their seat of power and their temporary influence that they have over our people right now, because they don't care about restoring the culture and our people. All they care about is having their little bit of the time of rule while they're here. They want their cake, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And while our people don't even get the crumbs that come from the table. So like,
no, Most High Christ, get out of here. Yeah. What's good?
Continuing with the brother was saying, like, you know, like in slavery, the first image they put up was Christ's wife.
That's right.
That's how they made us be submissive. Oh, they chosen. They God's people. The master had the big house.
Right.
And everything, we got the scraps. So actually, without even knowing, they taught us how to covet. Covet.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? So like I say, they culture. There's no culture for them without our culture.
That's right.
They just thieves that steal from us, add their paganism to it, and feed it back to us.
That's right.
That's right. Can I get Job chapter 9 verse 24? That's such a heavy point that you just made, because like ultimately, like that was like them making Christ white, like that was the ultimate goal. Because what does that do? Like, you know what I'm saying? We know that Christ was the greatest, you know what I'm saying? He was he was the greatest black man who, you know, walked the face of the earth.
That's
he was you know what I'm saying, chosen by the Most High to represent, you know what I'm saying, to be his representative on this earth.
That's right.
But we turn, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor has turned him into a, you know what I'm saying, to look like our oppressor.
Right.
And like that's the ultimate goal. What does that do for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? That makes us look at our oppressor as if they're God. Right. It makes us worship them, man. That's in that came over time. Like it was something that happened over time, because, you know what I'm saying, we took something that was what we thought was small and we felt like we could compromise, man. It was something that we took what we thought was small, and we thought that we could, you know what I'm saying, just because of our condition, because we're being persecuted just like we are today, we thought that we could just give a little, and, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor give us a little so that we can, like Officer Tapazar brought out, because we wanted a piece of their pie. We wanted to see what it felt like to be, you know what I'm saying, to live in heaven, because we had been hunted down and persecuted and, you know what I'm saying, put in these crazy conditions by our oppressor for so long, man.
Right.
Like after Christ passed, after Christ passed and fulfilled his duty, like saying, our people were put in conditions where, you know what I'm saying, we were being executed and hunted down. We were being persecuted. We were being, you know what I'm saying, to the point where we had to, you know what I'm saying, we had to go in hiding. We were in hiding, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how we ended up. That's what led to us making these compromises, just like we do today. Us, like, you mind bringing that up?
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So that's why he's able to cover, you know what I'm saying, make Christ a white man, because the earth is in the hands of our oppressor. And those, you know what I'm saying, thousands of, you know what I'm saying, years ago, it was in the hands of the Romans, in the hands of the Greeks, man. It's in the hands of our oppressor, man. So he's able to cover the faces of our, you know what I'm saying, our King Yahweh Shai. Is there any more on that?
If not, where and who is he?
Right. So our oppressor, that's why our oppressor is able to cover the faces of our people, our leaders, and make them and whitewash them. That's how they're able to do that, because, you know what I'm saying, the world is in our hands. And, you know what I'm saying, that's what caused, you know what I'm saying, that's what kicked off what's known as the Council of Nicaea.
Right.
Like, that's where we started to compromise again after Christ that came back. And because we of course compromised before, you know what I'm saying, but Christ came back and laid it all down flat, and he made it clear. And not only did he make it clear, you know what I'm saying, what was intended by the law, and what was in, you know what I'm saying, what was intended by the law, statutes, and commandments, and how we should conduct ourselves as a people.
Right.
But he lived it and he performed it as a man in man's flesh.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, because of persecution, because of persecution and because of hell, because of the condition that we're in, we started to deviate from our culture, because we were tired of hiding now. We were tired of, you know what I'm saying, living in catacombs. So, you know what I'm saying, at that time, the ruler of the Roman Empire, Constantine, I believe,
Right.
he you know what I'm saying, he met with the authority, the biblical authority at the time, and was like, all right, y'all don't have to, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't have to hide out no more, because we was in, you know what I'm saying, we was hiding out because we was being oppressed, we was being, you know what I'm saying, there was some of us who was trying to sell the truth and sell out for the truth, and there was some of us who was trying to, you know what I'm saying, hang on to the truth. And some of our people who were trying to hang on to the truth, they were being persecuted, they were being murdered, they were being hung, lynched, and all of that, like just like we are today.
Right.
So the ones who wanted to, you know what I'm saying, who wanted to live, who wanted to, you know what I'm saying, preserve their own flesh and be a part, you know what I'm saying, partake in our oppressor's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They was like, all right, we'll compromise with you. So, you know what I'm saying, Constantine linked up with these people, and they was like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying, we'll accept what Christ taught. But instead, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for, you know what I'm saying, for you to not have to hide out, and for you, you know what I'm saying, for you to not have to fear for your life, you know what I'm saying, I want you to accept, you know what I'm saying, it started with something small as, you know what I'm saying, changing the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Because, you know what I'm saying, Constantine, he worshiped the sun god. They worshiped a whole different culture. So we thought that was something small in exchange for, you know what I'm saying, our earthly lives. It was like, all right, no sweat. If I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying, hide out and be on a run for the rest of my life, you know, that's a small thing. We could do that. If, you know what I'm saying, we can agree that Christ was a black man, and, you know what I'm saying, our people is to rule on this planet, and we should, like, if we can still, you know what I'm saying, follow our culture and teach our brothers and sisters the truth of the Bible, then we'll accept that small thing.
Right.
And then it seemed like a small thing, but, you know, that was the start of the compromise that led to our death.
That's right.
So, it started with Sunday being the Sabbath instead of Saturday, which is why you see the Christian church being flooded on Sunday. And then, the Greeks and the Romans, they was in the Greek mythology. They was into things like demigods, Zeus and Athena and all of those things. Like they was into, demigods where their father is a god, so called, and their their mother is a human. You got angels sleeping with people and all of that crazy nonsense. So
right, that's where you get that from.
Exactly. That's where you get that's where they try to call Christ, They try to call Christ God.
Right.
That was that one compromise led to another compromise. And now Christ is God because we turned our culture by compromising for them, for our lives, in exchange for our lives and us not having to hide out. We gave them our culture to do whatever they wanted with it.
Right.
So, they worship demigods and they got demigods and all of that and all these strange things going on in their culture. So we allowed them to put that on our culture. So now we believe that Christ was, he was born from a woman who didn't have sex, and now he's a God, and now he is God. And he was praying to himself on a mountain to remove the burden of raising up blacks and Hispanics. It's like you had something.
Yeah, if I could, priest, if I could bring out a precept, Jeremiah 2:33. Were you gonna bring that up? What this priest is bringing out is incredibly heavy. The reason why you think Lucifer fell from heaven and made war with God and did all of these crazy things that aren't in the Bible is because that's Greek mythology. That's Greek mythology. Zeus fell from Mount Olympus and made war with Kronos. That's what you're reading. That's not the Bible. You're reading what's that cat who's son of Neptune? Poseidon. What's the song? He got all them books, man. You know what I'm saying? He got the movies now.
Aquaman?
No. But Aquaman is based off of this man. He's half man, half god. Percy Jackson in the all of that is not those fake stories are because of what this brother's bringing up. This is an actual historic event, and it has been poisoned into what is really written in our Bible. You go to church and you worship the Greeks.
Right.
That stuff is not in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? If somebody can read that for me. Jeremiah chapter 2, go to verse 31 and read that whenever you get it. Right. And that's the God honest truth. That's why you do whatever you want, because Romans did whatever they want. Greeks did whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Not because God said it, because you've compromised. Our people have compromised at many points in time, and the time for compromises is up. Now it's right or wrong. That's what God calls for. When Christ comes back, it's not gonna be you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ate pork, but I also told people to read their Bibles. Right. I also told people give to the poor. No, Christ isn't gonna compromise with you. Right. Christ isn't gonna compromise with any of us. He's not gonna compromise with me. I know that. I know that because I read the Bible. So I can preach. You got it.
All right. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 31. O generation, see ye the word of the Lord.
This is Jeremiah saying, the people of my time, O generation, see, listen, look at the word of the Lord. Look at what the Lord is really telling you. Keep reading.
Have I been a wilderness unto Israel?
The Lord is saying, have I been a wilderness unto you? Have I not given you everything you needed and more? Have I held anything back from you? Keep reading.
A land of darkness.
Have I been a land of darkness? Darkness in the Bible is a lack of knowledge. That's what that means metaphorically. The Lord is saying, have I held anything back from you? Have I left you lacking around on this planet in the sight of these nations? Back when the children of Israel were following the God's law, statutes, and commandments, we were on top. Every nation was bringing in treasure troves unto Solomon, and David conquered all of his enemies. And that's in the Bible. Abraham conquered all of his enemies. Right. All of them. And that's just what it is. It's written of in Adam that the same happened with him. The Lord is saying right here, have I not given you everything you needed and more? Have I not given you the knowledge, the understanding, the ability to go out and take everything you want? Keep reading.
Wherefore say my people, we are lords. We will come no more unto thee. Because
the Lord has given us that ability in aforetime, we told ourselves we're lords. It's us. We did it. I'm big chief. I'm big honcho.
Right.
It's really me. I could go. That's why I really conquered them Edomites, because I'm just so great. Bible shot. Keep reading.
Can a maid forget her ornaments?
The Lord is saying, can a woman forget what makes her beautiful? That's what an ornament is. It's a decoration. Can a woman forget her earrings, her bracelets, when she trying to come out and step fly? Right. Keep reading.
Or a bride, her attire?
Or a woman who's getting ready to marry. She's not going to come out into the marriage ceremony without a wedding dress. We all know that is, man. Goddamn. Right. Goddamn, Lord, I'm trying to avoid the wedding altogether. I like saving money. The shorty is not going to come out without breaking your bank. Keep reading.
Yet my people have forgotten me days without number.
But the Lord is saying, we have forgotten him. We have forgotten what makes us so beautiful, what makes us so great in the eyes of these nations, what makes them respect us, what makes them revere and lose sleep at night about us, man. Goddamn, and worry if they're really gonna be okay. Worry about if they talk to us correctly yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Worry. That's what makes us beautiful. The Lord makes us beautiful. Keep reading.
Verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
The Lord is asking, why are we compromising?
Right.
Why did we take off what makes us beautiful? So that what? We could keep reading.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Elijah, read that first part again.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Why are we taking off what makes us beautiful to seek love? We are compromising our God, our culture, for what? So our children can be exposed to homosexuality at an early age? Right. We are compromising our culture, the culture that says we shouldn't rape, we shouldn't do drugs, we shouldn't prostitute our daughters. So what? That we don't have to be uncomfortable in public situations. I will stand proudly in a crowd of 1 million people and say I am an enemy of the LGBTQ community because they're an enemy of my children. I'm an enemy of drug dealers because they're an enemy of my family and my community. And the same goes for anybody who seeks to destroy me or my brothers and sisters directly or indirectly. Abortionists, Republicans, Democrats, all these fakes who pretend. And that's what we end up to do. That's what we end up doing. We end up forsaking the Lord and compromising so that we find love with the heathen, with the oppressor. I don't need anybody's love. Yo, everybody likes to be like, I don't need nobody. I do it all by myself. Zero. Well, why are you doing this just like him? Yeah, this sounds just like Zero. Why are you smoking weed better than the goddamn growers? Right. Why are you making whores out of your sisters more than the pimps? It sounds like you can't do any of that without them. You know what I'm saying? Still like you preach. But that's it. That's the compromise our people have made.
No, what you said was absolutely, give that a hand. Yeah, what you saying was absolutely correct, man. Like whenever we, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, when our brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, pick up that blunt or sleep with that white woman, or, you know what I'm saying, all the things that we do, you know what I'm saying, cut our beard, you know what I'm saying, cut our hair and get that shape up. I'm sure we think it's just a small thing. You know what I'm saying? But whenever we, like the scripture just said, whenever we trim our ways to try to suit our oppressor or try to make ourselves look, you know what I'm saying, more suitable, or, you know what I'm saying, less fearful to our oppressor, or whatever the case is, try to suit us, try to assimilate ourselves to our oppressor, man, that's never a small thing, man.
Right.
That's never a small thing. And us trimming our ways in the smallest bit leads to a terrible outcome when we turn our backs on these laws, statutes, and commandments. Like, you have something you want to do?
Oh yeah, I just want to piggyback off Brock. I have another precept. If that's the wall,
no, go ahead.
It's the same. It's limitation. It's Jeremiah. Yeah. So limitation 1:1. How do the city sit solidarity? You know what I mean? That it's like that was full of people. How is she become a widow? That she that was great among the nations and princess among provinces. How is she become I can't say this word. Tributary, like give it out, like you know what I'm saying?
Tributary.
Right. Yeah. You know, offer. Right. Like that's why I'm like, it's not the dead horse because he already covered it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a precept off of what he was saying, because like we was great, like you said, because we had a knowledge. We had laws and commandments. We knew what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like also Brock said, we wasn't out here being homosexuals. We wasn't out here eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, you know, and pork. You know what I'm saying? We followed what our God said. We didn't follow what the white man said. You know what I'm saying? What Christ said so perfectly, that ye are your father the devil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't follow that our earthly our father that put us in bondage, that whipped us, that killed us. But I'm saying we follow a God that's meant for us to live. That's meant for us to rule, man.
That's right. Most High Christ, get that in hand. Was you holding anything?
I was on Job 9:24.
Baba Kashai, can I we'll get back to that Maccabees, and we're gonna go to chapter 1, verse we're gonna start at 28. You got something you want to say?
Just add to what you said earlier about the Sunday worship. When we was in slavery, they made us work in them fields. The only day they gave us rest was Sunday. They had this: either you go in the field or you go to church. In Egypt, the only day we had rest, Sunday. Know what I mean? They socially what they call it, socially engineered us. Know what I mean? Basically, beat you to a pole. Beat you to where you're like, man, I ain't going out there today. It's 200 degrees out there today. You know, even though we ain't gonna listen to master, but there's playing that form of submissiveness. Right. You know what I mean? Like you said, trim your beard. That's a form of submissiveness. That's them saying, we still got them under the foot. They still gonna listen, they still gonna hearken. They still afraid of what we gonna do. We're not. They God gonna do. Because overall, God is the punishment. You know what I mean? That's why everywhere they teach us the opposite of the law. The way how they made us not believe in the book that would set us free. Say, that's the white man book. Right. That was their wishes right there. Right. They forever be in bondage now. Right. If we didn't get them to believe what would set them free ain't for them, if we can make them believe that they the cursed people and we the chosen one, they forever be under our foot, and they would teach their children to be obedient to us. Right. Right. For generation, and generation.
That's right. Get out of here. That's exactly what happened to us, man. That's exactly what happened to us over and over and over and over again, man. We make that one tiny compromise, and it opens the door. It opens the door for them to be like, yes, I got him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we got him now. Now, you know what I'm saying? Here, they just open the floodgates. Right. Off of us, you know what I'm saying? Making that one compromise. know what I'm saying? And now look at us, like in the Christian church, you know what I'm saying? Like it went from, you know what I'm saying? It went from thousands of years ago of us, you know what I'm saying, following our culture and, you know what I'm saying, seeing the consequences of us, you know what I'm saying, following our oppressor. And then now we on a borderline of, this country is on a borderline of legalizing pedophilia, where a man or a grown man or grown woman can sleep with a child and marry a child. That's where, like, when you look at it from, you know what I'm saying, the biblical perspective, to where we're not even supposed to even look at their woman, or let alone sleep with them, or, you know what I'm saying, the small things, or we're not supposed to have our oppressor ruling over us, and we're not supposed to elect our oppressor to rule over us. We look at those small things, and then we look at the consequences of today, of now how backwards things are and how upside down things are today. Like we have to it just goes to, it's just a testament to why we should never have left from our culture in the first place. It's like you got that First Maccabees?
Yeah, 1 and what verse?
20. You can start at 28 if you don't mind. So.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
So this is after we compromise, you know what I'm saying? After we give our oppressor a little leeway to think that, you know what I'm saying, he can be equal with us and he can negotiate the Most High's laws and what he told us to do. This is what happens to our people. We're left in a state of confusion, man, because as soon as, you know what I'm saying, as soon as we, you know what I'm saying, like the scriptures say, our oppressor is wicked, man. They're estranged from the womb, man. And they can't wait for an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of our people, man. They can't wait for, they lie in wait for the opportunity to overtake us, man. And this is what happens to us, man. When we give them the opportunity, when we give them that leeway, man, they take full advantage and destroy us, man.
Right.
Go ahead, read verse 29, Bible. Sure.
Verse 29. And after 2 years, fully experienced, the king sent. It's like expired. Oh, it's like expired. The king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Verse 30.
Verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit.
But what?
But all was deceit.
So they come to our people, man, and they speak peaceable words, man. They come to you and be like, look, man, I know you, we you know what I'm saying, we put you through years of oppression and slavery and captivity and bondage, and we did all these terrible things to you. I know we done stole the land from you and all of that. But look, we gonna give you the what they call it, the Emancipation Proclamation. We gonna emancipate you. Now you free. Now we're gonna allow you to. We're gonna add Juneteenth as a national holiday,
right?
So you can celebrate your freedom when your slave master gave you your freedom. And it said, what all was what?
But all was deceit.
Man, all of that is deceit, man.
Right.
Because as soon as you let your guard down, they gonna hit you with another. They gonna hit you with another blind side, man. And take advantage of you even more, man. They gonna destroy you even more. They gonna pull the wool over your eyes more, man. They gonna take advantage of you more. Go ahead, read on, Bible Shah.
For when they had given him credence.
When they had given him what?
For when they have given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city. So what is the word? The word credence means to give them belief, to believe them, to respect what they, to accept what they were saying and believe it, man. So we thinking so they telling us
all these peaceable words, man, and they saying all these things to, you know what I'm saying, pull the wool over our eyes, man. And as soon as we believe it, what happened?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
He did what?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
Because we compromised just a little bit. He did what?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
When the scriptures say never trust thine enemy, the scriptures say never trust thine enemy, and we believe the words that they say. Despite the scripture saying never trust your enemy and telling you who your oppressor is, man, that's what happens, man. We compromise in that little bit, and we trust our enemy, thinking that, you know what I'm saying, we can change the hearts of our oppressor, and we can, you know what I'm saying, we always think that we could save somebody. We like what we like they say, Captain Save a hoe, or Captain, you know what I'm saying. We always trying to save somebody. Like we can't save these people, man. We can't. You know, like we can't give them. We can't join with our oppressor. In hopes of trying to, you know what I'm saying, make what the Most High made crooked straight, man. We can't, because that's always going to lead to our downfall. They suddenly fell upon these people, man, which was us, man. These Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's what they do every single time we compromise. And we give them a little bit of credence, a little bit of belief. When they say, you know what I'm saying, we need to all come together and join together and hold hands and all of that and you know what I'm saying, be one people, and we need to love one another. When they don't have no intentions of loving you.
Right.
They have no intentions of loving you, man. We have. This is what happens when we compromise, man. So he say he fell upon the city, and what?
He fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
And they did what?
And destroyed much people of Israel.
So the lies that's taught in Christianity, they do what?
And destroyed much people of Israel.
So when Martin Luther King marched and he convinced Blacks and Hispanics to integrate with your oppressor, it did what?
And destroyed much people of Israel.
That's what compromising for your oppressor does. It destroys much people, much Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man.
Right.
What we got to do is just see the pattern. We got to see the pattern, man, and disrupt the pattern. We see the pattern of what loving our oppressor is and following after them and letting them infiltrate us. We see the pattern, man. We got to stop the pattern. Go ahead, sir. Salaki.
Yeah, Salaki, priest. What you're bringing out is just so heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like these small compromises that we as a people have made throughout history, even to now, have led us down to the world we see today, where we think all of these things are normal. You know, you can't even say nothing if your sister going out with an oppressor, or you know, you can't. You know, you have no power or no say who your sister or your damn daughter dates.
Right.
Your daughter can date a Confederate flag flying, white supremacist believing white man. And if you tell her no, you're the racist.
Right.
Because of the compromises that we've made throughout history, man. And it's a shame that we've done that. And it is what gets our people destroyed. It's what destroys us to this day. I wanted to say what you're bringing out is so heavy because we have to realize where this all started so we can stop it now.
Right.
It's our responsibility. What we tell ourselves today is we like go with the flow. We live and let live, like they say. Right. When it's our responsibility to save each other's life.
Right.
It's our responsibility to, goddamn, it's my responsibility if my daughter or my wife is safe. Right. You don't think that includes who she's able to talk to? If I'm not letting my daughter, you're not gonna let your daughter talk to 40-year-old men on the internet late at night, are you?
Hope not.
I mean, if you go and let go, you know, live and let live, as it's told today, you will eventually let that P sneak into LGBTQ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she will, and you will be what's the word? You'll be infringing her rights, like how they believe their rights are infringed with this abortion. You'll be infringing your daughter's right if you stop her from talking to a 40-year-old man at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's just a man. It's not sexual yet. You know, and pedophilia is just about to be another type of sexual identification.
That's right.
Right.
And if you agree with transgenderism in sports and bathrooms and in high schools and administration and politics, well, then that's your future. But if you don't, it's your job to speak up and stop it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's your job to stop compromising with things that are destroying us. And it expands beyond, you know, pedophilia, your Christian church. You've compromised long enough. You hold your hand with your murderers, and that's what it really is. We want to love and forgive the people who oppressed and murdered us. We want to stroke the hair of our murderer, give him a Bible in the courtroom, but goddamn, we want to persecute each other to the fullest extent of the law.
Right.
And that's not love, man. That's not love. That is hate for yourself. It's hate for yourself, and it's going to further lead us into the pit that we live in today. So like,
Most High Christ, what you said was so heavy, it's our job to set the precedent. Like it's not even like we don't even understand. Like it's our job to set the tone for you know what I'm saying, how we conduct ourselves as a people, so that we don't end up adding that P to that LGBTQ community. Like then we just saw that, you know what I'm saying, a sister was just arrested for, you know what I'm saying, allowing her underage daughter to have a relationship with a 47-year-old man. Good night. And she ain't seen nothing wrong with it.
She used the Bible to justify.
Exactly. Like she said it was because of religious reasons. She using these law, statutes, and commandments to try to justify pedophilia, man. It's because we compromise, man. We do so much compromise. You know what? I wish we was just as zealous as we are about I wish we was just as zealous about the truth as we are about getting high, or you know what I'm saying, doing our wickedness, man. Like I know brothers in the world, man. You go to your drug your plug, you know what I'm saying, and you get your little pack or whatever, and you find out that it's short, man. You gonna have a problem. Like you gonna kill. You are willing to kill or be killed over a half of, right? Over a half of, you know what I'm saying?
Man, it's a 0.8.
Yeah, you
this ain't a G.
Right? Like
you way across town back to it. Hey man, it's gonna be a 0.2.
Right? Like you gonna kill or be killed over a little bit. If your plug shorts you just a little bit, man. I wish our people would just be that zealous about keeping our culture, man.
Right?
Because that's how you stop that, you know what I'm saying, that extra, all this extra wickedness infiltrating our culture, man.
Right.
That's how you stop that, man. You got to be zealous about something simple as a man not you know what I'm saying, not cutting his facial hair, or understanding that sex is marriage,
right?
Or that, you know what I'm saying, that a man can have multiple wives, or that, you know what I'm saying, that now you have to be zealous about something as simple as not eating pork, so that you don't find your people in jail for allowing their kids to sleep with grown adults.
Right.
That's how you stop that, by being zealous about the small things. Being zealous about the small things, man. And if we apply that same zeal that we have to do wickedness, then we won't. If we apply that same zeal that we have to, you know what I'm saying, do wickedness, then we'll to following the small things, we wouldn't be in this condition, man.
That's right.
We wouldn't be in this hellish condition, man. That's the only way we're gonna be able to keep ourselves, you know what I'm saying, pull ourselves out of hell, man.
Right.
No, we can no longer compromise. No longer compromise. And I think it's gone far enough, man. I don't know about, you know what I'm saying, I don't know about my brothers and sisters, but me personally, man, I think it's gone far enough. I think my brothers and sisters being killed in the streets and, you know what I'm saying, us accepting certain things like pedophilia and homosexuality and allowing our children to have sex changes and make confused adult decisions at, you know what I'm saying, at a childish
10 years.
Right. Like I think that's far enough, man, for us to have to step back and look and see that something is wrong. Something is wrong. I think this is going far enough, man.
Right.
And the only way for us to be able to make things right before it goes any further is to step back and come back home, man. Come back home to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And home is right here in the ISUPK, man, where it's being taught, where we don't compromise, man. These brothers in here, they don't compromise, man. They standing strong on this truth, man. It doesn't matter what, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't matter what their oppressor says. If it's not coming out of this Bible, man, it's not law, man. No matter what their children say or what their wives say or what anybody say or no matter what kind of persecution they come under, man. These brothers in here, they don't compromise, man. And that's the whole blueprint, man. Baba Kashai, can I get John 2 John chapter 1 verse 10, Baba Kashai? We need to rekindle our zeal for our culture, man, so that we can so it can stop just being a conversation of, you know what I'm saying, how we gonna get out of this hell, how we're gonna build up our communities, how we're gonna build up, you know what I'm saying, how we're gonna bring back black families together, how we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, come from up under the foot of our oppressor. So it can stop being a conversation, man. We got to actually put action into it, man, and rekindle our zeal. Bob Gashai, you got that?
2 John chapter 1 verse 10. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine.
So if any snake come to you and they coming to you and they trying to get you to compromise, they coming with some different doctrine that's not your culture as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Read on, Baba Kashai.
Receive him not.
Nah, go ahead. Compromise just a little bit, man. And what's the harm? What it say?
Receive him not.
And read on.
Unto your house. Neither bid him Godspeed.
But this is the type of zeal that we need to have, man. If anybody is coming to you with a different doctrine, with a different culture, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, if there's any culture outside of your culture, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, which is in this Bible, this that you are an Israelite and that you are the chosen people of the Most High. If anybody comes to you with a different doctrine, man, don't accept them into your house, man. No. And when they leave, man, when they about face and they be on their way, man, don't even wish them safe travels, man. Don't even give them don't even bid them farewell. Don't even give them, you know what I'm saying, the don't even wish them well. Like let them receive the judgment for, you know what I'm saying, right, trying to make you deviate from deviating from their culture or trying to deceive you, right? Or trying to let them receive that, man. Let them don't even. That's the type of zeal that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to have for their culture, man. That's the type of zeal, man. And if we had that, we would never have to worry about a snake infiltrating our people. We need to that's the type of zeal that we need to have as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Because because us compromising and us allowing, allowing certain things to slide under the radar, that is gonna be the thing that opens the floodgates to destroy us, man. And so like when we like that's it, like when we do things like, like celebrate, Mother's Day, or all these different holidays for the children, or we think that we doing something good for our mother, or whatever the case is, or we think 4th of July is just fireworks. I mean, I know it's like we know what it is, like we know what these holidays represent, but to us, we always want to put our little spin on it. I mean, I know the Native Americans were slaughtered on this day, but to me, it's just a day of, having good food, and like good, like I know 4th of July is, it's the Independence Day of our oppressor, but to me, it's just good barbecue and fireworks and the time to get together with my family.
Right.
Like that's what it's like.
Birthdays.
Right. Like we think that, like we can't find no birthdays in the scriptures, but
Job's sons and daughters.
Good night. What's that?
Job's sons, they had a birthday. They all died.
Right. Good night.
They all died.
Good night. And like we convince ourselves like, yeah, it's just for the children, man. We going broke. We going broke every year on our children's birthday, knowing we ain't got it, on Mother's Day, knowing we ain't got it because we oppressed. Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these different holidays, we will go broke trying to follow the culture of our oppressor. But we'll convince ourselves that, to me, it's just, well, I gotta do it for the children. I gotta do it for my mother, man. We have become slaves. We have become slaves to these doctrines, man, because we have compromised so much, man, and it is leading us to die. Right. It's leading us to die, man. It's like you're not holding anything for me, are you? Or
I just got second John 1 and 10. 1 and 9 and 10.
I think I'm done with that. Can I get Galatians chapter 4 verse 16, Bible shot? But so like 4 and 16. Yeah, concert. Like we have compromised so much, and we gotta understand that is the death of us, man. We just gotta look and see, man. We gotta look and see that is the death of us, of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Man. And it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous that we'll continue to, follow after certain things and do certain things, and watch it destroy us, watch it kill us. Like we'll watch our oppressor kill us in the street, yet we want to marry them and join hands with them, befriend them. Right. Follow after their religions and then their doctrines, and befriend them and all of that. Like, we watching them kill us. We watching, ourselves sink deeper and deeper into poverty. And we see how our black dollar is circulating in our communities versus how it's circulating in, in white communities. We see how small, how our net worth is so much smaller than our oppressor's net worth, and how we're just overall being oppressed in this country. Right. But we just continue to partake, and we continue to partake in our oppressor's culture and continue to sink and die and suffer under the foot of their culture, right, and their doctrine and their rules and all of that, man. Like, we gotta look at these things and understand that your culture is superior, Black man. Right. And your culture is the only thing that fits you. Your culture was made for the culture that's in this Bible is made only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's like, you got that, sir?
Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Read that again, Bob Shah.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
This is the type of zeal that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have to have. Because what you got to realize is once you decide to stand strong in your culture and not deviate and, you know what I'm saying, not fall victim to, you know what I'm saying, the what your oppressor, you know what I'm saying, try to push on Black people, man. Once you stand up and put on your culture, you have to understand that you will make enemies. And what's heavy about it is the enemies that, you know what I'm saying, the people that will become your enemy because you tell them the truth, it'll be your own people, man.
That's right.
It'll be 9 times out of 10, it'll be somebody who looks just like you, who
That's
came
right.
out of the same condition as you, man. And you speak a little truth, man, and decide to stand on the truth, man, and to live the truth. You will make your enemy, your people will become your enemy, man.
That's right.
And that's what our people are afraid of, man. Our people, that's what causes us to compromise, because once you stop eating that Thanksgiving turkey, because you have respect for the death of your Native American brothers and sisters, then your people, your family is gonna look at you crazy, man. Once you decide that you're not gonna celebrate Mother's Day or birthdays, and your mother expects to be worshipped as a god on Mother's Day, and she don't get no card or no flowers from you, or no nasty chocolates from you, she gonna look at you as if you a terrible son, man. Like you just it's like, what'd you say, sir?
Like you got a demon.
Right, like you just like she'll look at you like like you just right, like you just a bastard, just worthless, like you just terrible. You just that's the worst thing that ever happened to her, right? You know what I'm saying? She's sitting in the dark because she can't afford to pay her bills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she being oppressed, just like every other Black, Hispanic, and Native American. And now she's sitting in the dark. All she could think of is how her, you know, her son or her daughter didn't get her no flowers on Mother's Day. That's the rules that's been put on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That we so concerned with the small things that we can't even see the bigger picture, man.
That's right.
And how detrimental it is to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to continue to allow our oppressor to dictate how we move and how we move as a people, and what we celebrate and what we do, and how we, you know what I'm saying, how we interpret this Bible, man, in that Christian church, man. It's got us destroyed, man, out here, and that's what we gotta realize. That's what we gotta realize, and it's time for Black, Hispanic, and Native American brothers to stand up, man, because we're the ones responsible for raising up our women and our children.
That's right.
And keeping the culture that the Most High left us. We're responsible. So when we're talking about compromise, it starts with the brothers. It starts with the men, man. The Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, man. We gotta be the ones to stand up and be zealous about the small things, man, so that we don't end up augmenting into the lifestyle that we, you know what I'm saying, that we see around us today, where homosexuality and all these different, the LGBTQ spectrum is getting good night. Like it's so many different sexualities now, according to your oppressor, man. Like I can't even keep up with it all. Like
more flags than you win.
Good night. Right. It's like
it's another thing I don't understand. It was like I watch these shows and stuff like that. Like, well, are you gay? They say, well, it's a spectrum. What does the hell that mean?
Good night.
You're gay. You know what I'm saying? And that's an abomination.
Damn
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like all these, I'm just no. If you like another man, and you like another woman, if you're a woman, you're a homosexual. Ain't no spectrum that I lay with this. That's the thing that we don't take accountability for our actions. Shalaki, this is going on. I know you, Shalaki. We don't take accountability for our actions, and that's the whole Bible is about. Accountability. The Bible is about pointing finger at you, not about pointing finger at everybody else. This and this. It's about making sure you're good, making sure that you're not out of line according to the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what the thing America doesn't teach you. America teaches you to point everything and everybody else. Well, it's just this, but it's just that, and that's and this is called confusion. And it's not about confusion.
They don't accept me.
What you said was absolutely heavy, man. Like it's as simple as that. Like, and like it just goes to show, like, man, once we start to, like, once we open that floodgate and start to accept things that the Most High hates, man, it just starts a snowball effect of, you know what I'm saying? It just starts a snowball effect of, you know what I'm saying, all manner of wickedness, man. When the preachers brought out, like, it's just simple as, like, there ain't no spectrum, man. If you decide that you are animal sexual, then you are offending the Most High. You are transgressing the laws of the Most High. That is an abomination. If you decide that you want to sleep with, if you decide as a man you want to sleep with a man, that is an abomination, and that offends the Most High, man. And you are the wages of sin is death, man.
That's right.
At the end of the day, it's that simple, man. There is no compromise, man.
That's right.
Y'all, what gets us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is that we think that we gotta like everything.
Right.
We think that we just gotta love everything, man. We just gotta. Well, I don't like that somebody's telling me who I can sleep with. So you decide that you want to sleep with everybody, or you don't like you think that you're supposed to like everything. Like like, I hate to break it to you, man, but you know what I'm saying. Everything is, you're not supposed to like everything.
Right.
Everything. It's like you.
I was just saying that's right.
Like, you're not supposed to, everything that the Most High didn't give us these laws, statutes, and commandments for us to like it.
Right.
For us to, you know what I'm saying, just because you love your person, it's not for you to like it. You know what I'm saying? It's because that's what needs to be done, man. That's what it is. Period, man. And if we can't accept that, man, just look around you, man, and choose. Just make a choice, man. Look around you and choose, man. Because like, we can either choose to believe what the Most High says in these scriptures and what these priests and prophets have written in these scriptures, man. We can either choose to believe that and live and receive the blessings that the Most High gave us, or has in line for us, or we can decide that, you know what I'm saying, we can decide that we don't like that, you know what I'm saying, the Most High doesn't like, you know what I'm saying, the Most High has a favorite people. We can decide that we don't like certain things in the Bible, and, you know what I'm saying, move on our own accord.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying, see where that gets you, man. Let's just see what just see where that gets you, man. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm through. It ain't no questions in the chat or anything, is it?
I don't see that on fake touch.
Slacky, I gotta touch that.
He back at home. That's different. Was I crazy?
If it ain't no slacky wood.
No, I say I'm trying to get rich like you are.
I'm broke as a joke. If it ain't any questions in the room or questions in the chat, any more comments, we're gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer.
I get it.
Priest and Officer 50, Bonzayan for security announcements. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who, you know what I'm saying, came into, you know what I'm saying, joined us for class. And I got you. I appreciate every brother and sister that joined us for class and endured. I pray that everybody out there fighting their demons, you know what I'm saying, and enduring in this truth, man. Well, you got it, please.
Okay, this is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, starting out in 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the commanding Junior Honda. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into a school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asirah. 10 of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We right now we have the feast of first fruits starts after the Sabbath. Unleavened bread. Sundown, Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day, which would be Sunday, June the 12th, 2022. Starts before sundown. You can find it in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. Okay. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And that concludes the ISUPK security now.
That Majum, which means to stand. Sarwap and Yahakodum, which means to turn and face the east. We'll do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew and the English. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakuka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Ayah. Mashimayim. Nothing London. Lakum. Call. Yawom. Wasalakla now. Kabawat now. Kasalak now. Kabawatya now. Wala'ah. Tabiya'ah now. Wanasai one. Abol. Hawashai now. Mayan. Rod. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'Allah. Wa'atapa'arat. I will love you. Amun. In the English, our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debt. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. We're sorry. We're going to face the brothers. Give a curse salute to the brothers. In the Israel, Majah Shabbat. Majah. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yajim Matah. I'm sorry, face the sisters. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. In Israel, Majid Shabbat. Majid. Barak.
Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahushua.
Yajim Matah. Dismissed.
All right.